Hey there, Miller, Strategy Battle Gamers. So today I'm going to do a quick army review. So this is basically the reason, as you can see, why I haven't been, we haven't been posting as much, me in particular. Mainly because I've been working really hard on finishing these Hobbits. I'm finally done, fully painted and based army. I do have one Hobbit militia left that's unpainted, but basically in any army list I've written, he's not in it. So unless I go pure Hobbits, which is like 600 points worth, so I'm gonna do a quick army review, going over the terrain piece, going over the army, and basically what it is. So I'm just showing you all of it right now. I'm actually going to break it down and show you the terrain piece first, and then I'm going to show you the Hobbit army. Alright guys, so I don't know if this light's this light might be a little bit too much. I'm actually using the lamp I normally use to paint to kind of add some extra lighting. But this is the Hobbit hole. This is actually probably the first terrain piece I can honestly say I built from scratch. I'm not normally a, let me cut that off maybe. It might help out. So basically you can see I flocked it. The Hobbit hole, I think I could have rounded off a little bit more, but you know, for the first one I've made, I think it turned out pretty good. I added a little tree on top to kind of give it, it's not really based directly off bag end, but maybe a little bit of bag endish kind of a thing. I added some shrubs in. These flowers I kind of added, I think, a little preemptively before I flocked it fully. So they're kind of a little bit greened out, but I'm going to probably throw in a few more flowers. I added some cabbage and tomatoes and corn, kind of represent the Hobbit agriculture. And then I added a barrel there. And also the window is one other thing I think I could have gone a little bit better on this. But all in all, I'm actually really pleased the way it came out. I probably spent $10 US dollars to make it. I just bought two balsa wood kind of planks, glued them on top of each other. Because I had to expand the board after I saw how many models I needed. I literally had to have them like piled up on this little small, so I extended it and added the veg and fruit. So yeah, this is it's a display board, and it's also going to be used as a terrain piece. And I added this barrel. That's a barrel that came from the lake town. I have another one that I'm going to add on to it that I have to paint. I actually have to finish painting that one too. But yes, that's it for that. I use the Scouring of the Shire book, like design. They have a really neat way to build the Hobbit holes. Really simple. Like I said, I'm not really a terrain builder. This is the first piece of terrain I built from scratch, but I'm really pleased with the way it came out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you want to maybe see like a vlog of building it. I know the GBHL Jamie, I watched that, kind of get a rough idea of how, because you know, like I said, I look at the pictures and stuff how to do it, and I watched his video and he did a really good job showing how he did it. But I roughly based it off that, and I try to make it a little bit bigger. Maybe it feels like a little bit more of a rich guy's Hobbit hole. So I'm going to now pan over to the army and break it down. So enjoy, and let me know what you think about the Hobbit hole. Alright guys, so I'm back with the Hobbit force. Let me go and zoom in. I'm going to try and give you guys some of the... So first off, okay, so sorry, I'm kind of like excited, but the Hobbits are actually probably some of my favorite models that I've painted. That's saying a lot, considering that I've have like 7 different armies, you know, including evil. They're just really unique models to the series, especially. You know, also I've painted some of the fantasy and 40K models, and the Hobbit models are just unique. That you don't, when you paint them, you don't get like this warlike, armored up guys. They're just militia. I mean, they're wearing jackets and vests, and they have farmer hats on. So when you're painting them, you kind of give each model a personality, and something I've really enjoyed doing. So I'm gonna start with Merry. So this is Merry, and I have been giving him a pony. He's leading 8 of the militia 4 archers. The Hobbit archers are amazing models. Not only like the poses and their kind of, you know, the models themselves, but their profiles. They're basically rangers. When they shoot, they are rangers. which is a really awesome thing, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I'll move over. We have to talk about Fatty Bulger. Think he actually did kill. He's finally killed one goblin with a throwing rock. Other than that, I don't think he's killed any models. Okay, now you're probably thinking, why is Eldon and Elder here? Well, I'm actually using them as an allied faction into this army. Not only do they add 6 might and their awesome profile, but do they also lend? I'm taking them from Arnor. So you might be looking at these Rangers of the North models, and they are the Rangers of the North models, but I'm using them as Rangers of Arnor. I really prefer the models, Rangers of the North. I just think these are awesome models, so that's why I'm using them. Now you might be wondering why I'm using Aragorn and Legolas. I recently traded these. Let's see if I can get recently traded them. And I painted them up. I actually really love these models. Ever since they came out back in 2007 or 8 or whenever they came out, they're relatively new. Like, they were newer when in terms of like the Lord of the Ring models, but then they went out of print, so I never got the chance to actually buy them. I almost me and Dale had them pre-ordered in our thing, but we decided to cancel them to get some stuff because we wanted to get them right away. We didn't have to wait, so I finally got the 300s models. And they are outstanding models. I mean, some of my favorite, just the aesthetics of them. But the reason why I'm using these models is actually I'm using them as Rangers of the North profile. So it's kind of themed because I'm using the Great Company rules. So I got Eldon Elder here, some Rangers of the Arnor, and then I got 2 Rangers of the North and Legolas and Aragorn. So it's a little bit themey. I really like the way they play it too. Rangers of the North are awesome profiles. So next, I got Paladin Took. Now he's leading 10 archers. That's a militia, but I painted him with a yellow hat. Because he's an archer. I'm using the archer profile, but he's the only guy in my army that has the yellow hat, so he's going to be easy to spot when I'm sorting out the models. So I have 73 models in this army. So he's leading 10 archers, one of them with a hornblower. Paladin Took, I think they designed his profile to be the leader for the hobbits. The 12-inch steadfast. He doesn't lend a lot to like fighting and stuff, so keeping him in the back, kind of that old cheesy-ish kind of style, keeping him in the back away from danger. He has 12-inch steadfast, courage, I want to say 7 when you have the 2 warhorns, so he's not going to run. So he's a really solid profile. 1 will, I think, but, magic resistance too, so he's just a solid profile, I think, for the Hobbit army. Okay, so then moving on, I have Bolror Took. I've now painted him, and he is an absolutely gorgeous model. I mean, really all the Hobbit models, I just think they're different, and I really like the Bolror Took model. I had a lot of fun painting him. So he's leading 12 sheriffs. Sheriffs are awesome. They're out of print now, but I was able to get these from Brad a long time ago. And they just add the higher fight, this ability to stun models, which has come in handy with them. So yeah, that's that warband. Then I have Pippin, and he's leading an identical warband to Merry. He has 8 Hobbit militia, and he has 4 archers. Now my logic in breaking up the archer warbands is, because I think in a Tactics Talk video before we've talked about, when we have an entire warband of archers, that you can put them in a spot and they might become useless. So having your archers kind of broken up into different warbands, it means you can get different firing lanes. So if someone tries to run for cover, these archers might have line of sight where the other ones wouldn't. So you don't really have all your eggs in one basket. And that's another function that these guys and the Rangers of the North do. Rangers of the North add might to my bow shots. So that's the one thing about that, why I've done that. And then I got Samwise the Brave on Pony, and he's leading 10 militia. So I'm going to talk about my two kind of elite, rare armies. You don't see a lot of Hobbit players. One being the models are a little, like, when you start talking about you have to buy an entire army, you have to get a lot of models. They're a little bit more expensive to physically buy, but they're not too terrible. Honestly, I was a little bit surprised how cheaper it was for me to buy this army. Now, one reason why I bought this army is because my Thranduil's Halls army is also a really rare model. You don't see a whole lot of armies of Thranduil's Halls, especially tournaments. And I mainly bought that force because I played Mirkwood before the movies came out, and I wanted to have the updated Mirkwood army. I figured that what they did is what they're doing is they're going to kind of get rid of that Lord of the Rings Mirkwood army, and they're just going to make Thranduil's Halls the Mirkwood. So, comparing the two, now I really enjoy my Mirkwood, my Thranduil's Halls army. It's a great army, gorgeous models. I enjoyed painting it and playing it. But between the two, I actually enjoy my Hobbits a little bit more. Now, the reason being is they're not as elite-y. I honestly have 73 models in this army, and about every Hobbit army I've made have been above 60. So there's no shortage of models, especially for game types like Domination, where my Thranduil's Halls have kind of struggled in it, because I normally have 30-ish models, depending. If I don't take Galadriel and just take Tauriel, I could probably about 30. Especially in 800 points. When I went to Nova last year with the Thranduil's Halls, I felt outgunned. I had less models than most of my opponents, and it really hurt, especially in the Domination game I had against 70 Goblin models, or 80 Goblin models, or however many it was. It was a lot. So, having the numbers of the Hobbits, and then there's just like this, there's a certain thing, I don't think a lot of people would realize. You see the Hobbit Force, you're kind of like, you take it lightly, you're like, well, they're really bad. Now, I'm just going to tell you the volume of shots I have in this army. I actually have 30 shots. I'm going to tell you how I did it. So, one starting, I have, of course, the natural hide model count for the Hobbits. I have 18 bow shots, right? Which is, you know, it's a pretty good model. I mean, it's about like a good elf army. So then, I allied an Elenel here, gave them both bows. And then I have 8 Rangers of Arnor with 2 Rangers of the North. And that adds another 12. So my 18 shots of the Hobbits then gets boosted to another 12 with my Arnor ally. So 30 shots a turn. And now that by itself is pretty vicious, especially, you know, I think I've been able to manage to kill quite a few models in all the games I've had of this specific list with those 30 shots, and then that's not including the throwing stones. Because when you start shooting 30 shots at someone, they're going to move towards you. They're not going to sit there and let you shoot at them. And when they get in range, rocks to the face, they'll string one rock, yeah, but I've averaged 1 or 2 kills on defense 5 and 6 models with them. So it's just a very vicious army in terms of shooting. Now, there is one really big flaw to the army is when they get into combat, unless I'm winning the fights, the Hobbit will drop like flies. Alright guys, sorry I'm back. I had to sort something out. So this isn't really, to clarify, this isn't really a tactics talk. So I haven't really had enough games with the Hobbits to really have a solid tactic other than shoot a lot and throw a lot of rocks, which has worked. We had a little mini kind of tournament, 6 of us. I actually placed second with the Hobbits. The only game I lost was Lords of Battle, which I think is the probably the biggest scenario really for any horde army that's not going to be really in the favor of the Hobbits, but I think they can still win in it. But you have to play really smart, which is something I tend to not do. I just go in there. That's kind of another thing about the Hobbit army is it requires a different mentality. I'm used to playing elves and Rohan, where I can go in there, run into combat, have a few shots the first turn, few turns, run in and go in there and start hacking. But the Hobbits require a really different mentality. You have to really pick where you fight and pick who you fight. And then in terms of shooting, you have to really pick who you target in the shooting, which is something I've noticed and actually started doing with the Hobbits and might start doing it with other armies, which I'll talk about probably in another video. But this is basically it, guys. This is my Hobbit army. This is what I've been working on since Fellowship of the Carolinas. I really wanted to start the army, so I decided to go and do it. So this is it. It's required. It's a lot of painting, a lot of buying of models and assembling, but I've really enjoyed doing it. So if you guys enjoy the Hobbit army and want to see it in a few more battles, I've had it in one against Sans Iron Hills, but if you want to see some more battle reports, let me know. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you think about the Hobbits, and happy wargaming.